Hello again, everybody. This is Glenn with Best Price Nutrition. Today I'm going to be going over the Man Sports Game Day. It's their new product in line with pre-workouts. Just to go through. Now, the supplement facts read serving size half scoop, so that's something to remember. You're going to be given a full scoop, but most oftentimes you're used to just going ahead and grabbing a full scoop and using it. They recommend a half scoop. I do hope that they do eventually change the size of the scoop so as people don't just not read the label and take one scoop, because it's actually a pretty potent formula. There's a lot of caffeine inside of it. So to go through the ingredients, it is a proprietary blend. First set of ingredients is their Nitric Oxide Stimulator blend. First ingredient is glycerol monostearate. All that is it's a solid form of glycerol. It's glycerol bonded to a fat. It's said to be a hyperhydrating agent, meaning it can possibly increase blood plasma volume, so you may get an increase in pumps. It's popular with some people on contest day when they're doing a bodybuilding contest to increase some pumps. It's increasing the volume of your blood, so you're getting more of a pump there. Glycocarn, most of the research on glycocarn is showing that you need about 4 to 4.5 grams to increase any sort of blood flow or have any nitric oxide effect. This is part of a 2,135 milligram or 2.1 gram serving, so not sure how much you're getting there, but that's in there. Next is L-norvaline. Norvaline is an amino acid that can block the arginase enzyme. Arginase is an enzyme that inhibits or blocks nitric oxide synthesis, so it says to block that. And then the next ingredient, which I think is, you say rutacarpine, I'm just going to say it like that. It's an ingredient that years ago was pretty popular in some nitric oxide supplements. Recently, this is the first I've seen it in a while, actually. It's in some other fat burners too. It is said, or has some studies to show it may increase nitric oxide levels. But you've probably seen some videos that we've done in the past on increasing in nitric oxide, specifically with ingredients like this or like arginine and things like that. The body has these homeostatic mechanisms that will balance that out. You may see an increase, but eventually your body's going to balance that out. So that's a 2,135 milligram dose of that, or those ingredients. Next is what they call concentrated growth factors, pure PF3, 500 milligrams. Now, I tried to do some research on this to find out what is pure PF3, and a lot of times the answer that I got, or that I was able to find, was that it's just a bunch of muscle building stuff. So what does that mean? And then I kept looking. I found out that they said it was a glycoprotein, which all that means is sort of a bunch of amino acids bonded to an oligosaccharide, or a bunch of simple sugars. And then reading more, okay, what is that? And then I found out that they said, well, it's IGF-1, or all the IGFs sort of bonded together in this ingredient. Well, problem with that is a lot of those, or that ingredient, just doesn't make it past our stomach or the intestines to be absorbed. If that were the case, you could take, instead of people going through the black market to inject IGF-1, we would just be able to take it orally. So I'm not really sure what that ingredient is. I'm going to do some more research on it, but haven't been able to find much on it. Next is really what stands out in this product, or gives it its power, is the IR Energy Blend. First ingredient is caffeine. Now, per half scoop, there's 200 milligrams of caffeine. So that's a half scoop. That's a pretty hefty dosage. If you just went ahead and did one scoop, you're getting 400 milligrams, which I know a lot of people can handle that much, but for someone who is not very tolerant to caffeine, that's a big dose of caffeine. And then is Dendrobium Alkaloids, sort of the real popular energy-enhancing, mental focus boosting ingredient right now. It's in some of the other products like Craze and Detonate. So they call it Dendrobium Alkaloids. The reports on it is when people take it, they're getting not only a boost in energy, but also it sort of makes you feel good. It contains the phenylethylamine analogs, which come in chocolate and things like that, sort of the ingredients that make you feel good. And the next is raw woolsine, which is also known as alpha-yohimbine. Same effects as yohimbine, but without all the side effects. A lot of people can't handle pure yohimbi or yohimbine. They can have some nasty side effects like increasing blood pressure. People have issues with like cold sweats, seeing trails and things like that, but this one's said to not have those that effect. Next is black tea, probably just another source of caffeine for them, some antioxidants, and then L-tyrosine, or they have it as N-acetyl L-tyrosine, another energy increasing ingredient. Now, the feedback on it so far has been sort of hit or miss. The people who can handle stimulants very well love it because it's a very big boost in energy. The people who don't do so well with them, they have saying, hey, I get the jitters, I get the shakes, I sweat a lot. I think a lot of that has to do with the huge dose of caffeine that's inside here. Because even if you made the mistake of taking 2 scoops, which is popular among people, a lot of times we don't read the label. We just, I'm going to go in for 1 or 2 scoops because I'm tolerant. Well, 2 scoops is 800 milligrams of caffeine. That's a really big dose. Not something that's going to have any real harmful effects on the body, but it's going to cause some unpleasant jitters and shit, things like that for another. I almost said shit there. So things like that for an hour or 2. So now. It can be taken by men or women. If you're a woman, I would definitely recommend maybe taking 1/4 of a scoop, and that's going to be difficult to measure out, I guess, but you can eyeball it. And as far as time to take it, just before your workout, half hour, 45 minutes before, there is 61 half-scoop servings, so there's 30 scoops. Take half of that, 60 servings inside here. I would generally recommend just starting with a half scoop, maybe even a 1/4 scoop, just to see how you tolerate it. I think that's really about it. They do recommend no more than 1 scoop in 24 hours. But yeah, so if you're looking for a really heavy stimulating product, definitely more on the side of stims and less on the side of a increased vascularity and pump, this is probably the product for you. If you don't do very well with stimulants, I'd say probably avoid it just because it is a really strong, heavily stimulant product. So if you have any other questions, you go ahead and post them in the comments section. You can also find us at facebook.com/bestpricenutrition. Thank you.